Am I live? Well, hello everyone, welcome back then to Tier 2 here in HOR for round 4, where we're in Hungary this week, all dry after some rain in Miami last week, which did provide an interesting little scrap where Campa came out on top despite looking to be lagging behind slightly to start things off. But a late strategy change, bringing on the softer tyres, meant he flew through and then took the win, so the second win of the season, meaning he's now stretching clear in the standings. We'll quickly go through the standings just before we fully start getting some times on the board. I'll just get someone up who's quite
everyone who I've watched on the laps already seems to be invalidating as well.
Yeah.
So
I
was trying to track who was first on the laps and they just all kept invalidating, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I get Campa on. Campa's on at time, so. But yeah, talking about Campa, yeah, he is, as we said, he is now, still leading the championship. He's extended that, so he's now ahead of Ghostface, who's up into P2 by 27 points. Campa on 64, Ghostface 37, then Nivi down in third, who's unfortunately not here today. And then down to Brothers, who was looking good for a solid result before he got a drive through, then it didn't serve it, and then he just ended up retiring in the pits. So he's 35 off the lead, so gap's already opening up so early on in the season. And then in terms of constructors, Campa's points tally has, I think by himself he'd be in the lead of the constructors, but Alpine doing well together, so they're on 96 points, 37 points ahead of Williams. So that is a quick rundown. Onto this week, 16 drivers on track, a couple of reserves thrown in again. We've got new driver Throne Globe, who's just actually been usurped by another reserve driver, Repsy, who we've seen several times this season already. So yeah, Throne Globe giving his first opportunity. Ali once again racing, although he has been given another internet strike, so we'll see how his connection looks today. No Love Darky back on track as well for the first time since the last season, where he picked up I think he retired on track, so he's got a qualifying ban today, so No Love Darky will be at the bottom of the standings. And that's it, I think, unless I'm missing anyone through the order. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so 7 laps on the board so far, with Campa currently still top, narrowly ahead of Kukura so far.
It's really quite close up there. Brothers is going to be next across the line, so it'll be interesting to see what he does and goes straight to the top.
Exactly
a 10th, yeah.
Lucas Champion's just started the time. Yeah, there is Darky Demo Tyrant, as expected. Chocolate has come around the final corner now. He was saying in chat as well that he hasn't done time trial around this track in about 5 months, so we'll see where he can slot in. Puts it P4 in his first lap, 14.556. Solid time. Plenty of cars already in the 14s, 7 to be exact. Repsicola being that break in the pack, 4/10, but just over 4/10 really, behind Ali, who is stopped on track currently trying to let cars through, I think, but at least I hope the game doesn't just randomly disqualify me. He's done that. Not too bad. We'll cut back to Lucas Champion, see what he can do. Obviously, very unlucky not to win last week. Looked to be heavy favourites to win the race last week after the pens for on Brothers. But yeah, tyre strategies towards the end just caught Lucas Champion out, and then he had the win stolen from him literally at the last lap. So heartbreak for him, because it looked to be a bounce back for the McLaren man. But we'll see what he can do in his first run here. Currently sat 13th for that time. Around the final corner he goes, so where does he move up? Puts into the top 10, P7, another man joins the 14 club. It's a solid first starter for him. Next man not to set time, Gremic, who's I'd probably be, I don't know if it's being too harsh to say, but I think he's having quite a disappointing season so far. Only been 3 races in, he's purple in sector 2, or whether that's just visual glitch on his first run or not, we'll have to see. But
yeah, I think he's shown enough to show that, you would expect him to start putting through results.
Yeah, he's there with thereabouts.
It's just, not quite the point tally you'd imagine he would have been hoping for at this stage.
8.68. He's trying to stay off track. He somehow got that lap valid. He's had the shit out of that, but just above his teammate by 29 milliseconds.
Yeah, he must have lost a whole ton of time doing that, because he's also gone across the grass. It would be interesting to see where that would have put. It might have been right at the top.
I mean, you look how much time he would. Yeah, even lost 2/10 doing that. I mean, that's going to put him right in the mix to fall. So we'll see. Obviously, yeah, he was the highest last finishing driver from last season. That's still around in tier 2. So that's why the pressure's somewhat being put on him, because we know what he can do. We just need him to see and to finally deliver that pace on track like he showed last season. So he's on his way back into the pits. Who's next?
Rialdo is going to come up to the line. He's coming around the final corner now. So last man to settle up, and he puts P10.
So he's now that breaking the timing sheet between the 14s and the 15s. 15-2, just ahead of Rupsy. And then we've got a couple of cars now coming out for their second lap. Oh, Brad is in the chat.
I don't think anyone's on the time at the moment. I think everyone's invalidated again.
Oh, Brad is saying he hasn't even practiced for today, so we'll see how that goes. Him and Chocolate then both flexing the no practice card. But a couple of cars, yeah. So Chocolate coming out for another run. Campa as well coming back into the pit. So we're going board with Chocolate to see how he gets on. Draining his ERS down into turn 2. Keeps it tidy, drifts out wide. More of the ERS being burnt. Trying to manage that all the way across the lap. What's the delta looking like as he goes into sector 2? Half a tenth up. Oh, flings over that curve though. To be fair, he carried that quite well.
You that much time there.
Yeah.
As long as you somewhat hold it the way how he did.
Oh,
right, but he catched that first curve, that's it for that one.
Yeah, fully sent him. Round he goes, so that's the time gone for Chocolate. So enough time maybe to recharge and go again on the second half of the lap. I was awkward to like that. I don't know if it's worth sending him. So we got further round on the lap then. Got Nitro come around sector 2. I think he's going to be the next man actually. As he goes off track, somehow keeps it valid though, and he's bailed out. So yeah, obviously realising that the time was not going to be able to be improved. Chesney's invalidated as well, so he's got an Aston behind him. Who is that? That is Brothers on his out lap. So which next car have we got? Oh, going on with Kookaburra, who's up but gets very squirrely through the chicane. Whether that's lost in time or not, we'll have to wait and see as he goes through the timing sheets into sector 3. Looking good through there, carries the speed well. How's he looking? 3.5 tenths down. F1 in the chat saying, Hungary seems challenging, yeah. I mean, I think it's one of these ones, I think, you either nail it or you don't. I think it all depends on, I would say it's better for controller players. For wheel players, I think it's harder for controller players to get that accuracy in a lot of the corners. But we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, I think as far as I'm aware, Bradders is on pad, unless he can correct. If he's in the chat and corrects me, I think Campa's. I think Campa and Chocolate on wheel. Kookaburra's on pads. Nitro wheel. I think Gremic and Ghostface on wheel. As far as I'm aware.
No idea about those.
Yeah, I'm
very sure. I have Brothers being on control in my mind as well, but I might be wrong on that.
And then Lucas Champion's on wheel as well, so and Ali. So we've got to be fair, we've probably got quite an equal split really between wheel and pad users here. So it'd be interesting to see who actually comes out on top. As Repsy can come around the final corner to start his next run. Currently down in P11, just outside the points then. So not a bad position to start. Brothers is half a tenth up as well, so going well just as he goes into that third sector. Very tricky left-hander coming up now. Hard to get the power down. Easy to lose grip, but keeps it nailed down. How does he get the final corner right? Does he drift around there? Ooh, a bit hesitant on the throttle. But to the line then, plenty of ERS left to use as well. And he does improve his time, goes to a 14.3, so still within the threes, but drops his time down to a 3.29.
I still think there's the improvement on that time for pole, but it'd be interesting to see if that turns out to be true. But I'd guess I'd sort of a 14 flat, 14.1 for pole today. But
yeah, I think it all depends on the fuel loads and stuff of what people are using, because it's it's so early in the session. I think a lot of people still aren't fully showing their full hand. 6 minutes left. Depends on what allocation people are using. As Ali then goes up to P2 with a great time, finding 3.5 tenths.
Gremic up to the line next as well. Considering the mistake he had, it'd be interesting to see where he goes up to.
Yeah, wow.
His provisional pole.
Half a second found. I wonder how much time he literally found out of the final corner into the line.
I was going to say, we saw on his original lap that he clearly had good pace here and just messed up right at the end.
So he is your man to beat. Brad is in the chat saying he was over 2 tenths up and then threw some of that away. So time still to find for the Aston. Ali's put it in, well, was on the front row, but he's been bumped down by Gremic. So time's covered in. Let's see if anyone, I wonder if anyone miraculously gets into the 13s. I'd imagine no, considering it's a bit harder to get a toe into his Lucas champion zone to the next couple as well. So people hitting that purple sector, times going green and purple all across the lap. So they see what Lucas Champion can do, whether he can move his way up into that top 5 if he continues this time around.
To finish off the lap as well. So
where did he go? He does then, yeah, puts the third, finds 3.5 tenths again, so keeps that time that he had in sector 2 through the final sector, and then just nips Ali then to start, but provisionally starting P3. Further down, who have we got? We've got Awkward on a time, got Hugo starting coming into sector 3 there as well. Rupsy's a bit all over the place, yeah, he's 1.7 seconds down, so scruffy lap for him, so there won't be an improvement on this one, so I imagine that'll be back into the pits as Awkward is up on his time as well, currently 12. Would look to be trying to get into the 14s on this run as well. A bit heavy on that first curve, but you know, keeps it within the limits, so not too bad. Throws it into the left-hander, dealt with nicely, a bit slow on the exit, he's invalidated.
Hugo Skywalker is looking to jump up, currently bottom at the time set, going towards the end of his lap, and he's showing at least a second improvement. But even then, he's still had quite a lot of moments on this lap, so I feel like he has more pace than what this will show, but this should jump him up as long as he sets it somewhat clean. Yeah,
yeah, 1.1 seconds, so finds an extra tenth in the final sector compared to what he was showing going across that timing line in sector 2. But yeah, like you said, if he's got a couple of moments in there, he's got enough time, and I mean, he's not showing low on fuel, so should be able to come back, and I think he might just have enough time to go again. So we're keeping on that.
Yeah, it's quite a quick lap, so I think we'll get in and back out, won't we?
Worth bearing in mind as well then for constructors down the bottom end, that VCARB are on 2 points this season so far, so not a good start to the season for them. They got both drivers in a decent position, obviously if it stays like this, both starting in the points, so not too bad if it stays that way. Who else is down there? You've got Sauber that right down there again, not having a good shift. You've got Chesney started, well, at the moment he looks like he's starting on the back row with Darky, well, yeah, Darky as well, with the quali ban, so he'll be right at the back of the field, and then has as well 1 point above that. No cars here today, so we'll see if either VCARB will kick past them and leave Haas bottom of the table.
Nitro's gone very early on this final lap, I was going to say. At sector 1 it was about level with his first time, but it seems so far relatively clean.
Randy comes in. Has he found any improvement in the sector 2? We'll find out very shortly. Yeah, he does, finds 10th. So we'll see if he can continue that through. Just if he keeps that time going, he's in that mix for the top 5 then. If he can find a little bit more to then try and challenge Campa. He's got enough currently in the tank then to maybe jump Chocolate and Kukapro. But they've obviously got their final run still to come as well. So it's the line then.
A solid end to the lap as well.
Yeah, and he does, yeah, finds a bit more time, puts up to P4. So Nitro currently on the second row, good lap from him. Does he stay there though? We've got a couple more cars out. Throne Globe has invalidated his run, so he's got one more opportunity to put it off the foot of the order. Who's going to be the first man to start time? Is that Gremic? Who's this coming around? Quickly flick and see if I can find it. It was Riauza then. So Riauza, first man come around to set his next run. So watch him all the way around, and then we'll start flicking to see what's happening behind him. 1 minute 50 left, so still time as we see a car going off track, getting out of the way.
Throne Globe's having a bit of trouble. He's trying to get as much RS back as possible to start his lap. Can't quite get it all the way back, but he's still got a good amount to get going. So.
Hungary's one of these ones I think you can get away with it. Obviously, still affects your time slightly, but Riauza's he was just going to say he's miles up, but yeah, so that was enough. I was going to say enough to move him up, but I mean, you look at the gap between Riauza and Hugo, and it's quite substantial. He's got enough time to come around again, so I imagine he is fueled up to do another run straight after. So we'll have to watch and see what he does.
2.5 tenths in sector 1, which you'd imagine is it's significant improvement in sector 1.
Yeah, unless he's just made a massive moment, but if that was consistent across all sectors, then the guy was going to be flying. So Ghostface as well goes into sector 2. Who's going to be next towards the line, flicking through? Campa, Brothers, all these cars in sector 1. I think it's going to be Throne Globe, really? Is this going to be the next car? We've got Chocolate on
quite late. I think it will be Ghostface, you want to say?
I think Throne Globe's ahead of him. Yeah, Throne Globe's the car ahead.
Oh, is he?
Oh, and he's actually 5/10 up, so he's doing well despite the adversity of having to flick it on and save his DRS to go again for back-to-back runs. Low on fuel, catches that inside curb and steps the car slightly, but to the line then, what can he do? In does improve, goes up to P11, so not too bad for him. Where's the car behind him, Ghostface, to see what he can do. Oh, and he doesn't improve.
Yeah, very slightly down this time, that one.
And Campa goes provisional pole. Wow. The championship leader then putting in a statement right towards the end there. Bradders to the line as well, doesn't improve. Unless he's just going now. I think he's just got to the line in time to do one more run. So we're going to be all eyes on Bradders then to see what he can do on his last run. He's just made that line in time. Who's coming in behind? We've got Throne. Who's that? It's Kookaburra coming around the final. I don't know if he's found him. It looked like he was 10th and a half down. So watch Kookaburra on the final corner just to see if he finds any time, but I don't know if he does. Really tries to push it around the final corner. Looks like he's just trying to ragdoll the car around, and he doesn't improve. Narrowly misses out on any improvement. Who else have we got? We've got Ferrari going to the line. Ali then goes back up to P3, finds a further 2/10. So good time from him.
Lucas champion up to line now, but this time hasn't really been impressive for pole unless he made a huge mistake, like 3-4.
No,
it's only P4.
Who's next? Hugo then next to the line. Where does Hugo go? Currently P11. Moves up one position. That's crazy. Finds only 3/10, only goes up one position. Who's next up then? We've got Rupsy Cola, invalid, so he's going to be at the back for today. Ghostface is off. Bradders is invalid. Oh, he's going to be gutted because he feels like he probably had time for pole, and then, yeah, he's retired on track. And it's going to be an Italian 1-2 again. Your constructors champions from last season, back up front. Campa Gremic, Campa, your championship leader, narrowly beating his countryman again. Hugo said he lost 0.6 of a second. So 0.6 of that put Hugo. That would put him right in the mix if that's true.
I was going to say, when I was on board with him, it did seem a bit of a messy lap from him, and I should say I thought he had a lot more time in it.
Bradders as well. Yeah, there's a couple of drivers that are to watch really, because you've got, I don't want to say out of place, but you've got Hugo that's showing good pace. Nitro, all the front that's showing good pace. Obviously, Chocolada. That's a bit of a quiet quali really, where he wasn't really at the in the ascendancy. We've got Bradders, who clearly feels like he might be a bit out of place. So we'll have to see. We've got a couple of cars that may be looking to steamroll through the order, but very close. Look at the grid. It's quite close really as a whole thing. Campa then gets your pole position yet again. Gremic P2. Ali with a great time to put it P3. Reserving it again, so he's putting his name in the hat to get back on the grid despite his internet issues last week. Bradders P5, Rialza P6, Nitro at P7, Kookaburra down at P8, but still not a bad position to start the race. Chocolate P9, Hugo Skywalker at P10, Ghostface 11, Throne Globe first race in and he's 12, Chesney 13th, Repsicola 14th, Awkward 15th, and then Darky will round off the grid with his qualifying ban. So plenty to happen. Obviously, Hungary is one of these races that strategy can play heavily into this. So we'll have to see what tyres people start on, if anyone gets a good run down into turn one to try and make use of their tyres, whether they... Does anyone go on the softs? I mean, softs aren't really a tyre that you consider really round Hungary, but yeah, does anyone know that? Does someone just decide to gamble and chuck on the hards? Chuck on the softs, sorry.
I think it'd be interesting to see how the race happens as well in terms of, I think just from quali trim to race trim, as the tyres start wearing here, it feels so different. It's much harder to keep control of, so it'd be interesting to see who can cope with that the best. But I think some tracks it's, somewhat the same.
Yeah. That's the one thing I will give credit to this game. I think it has opened that window a bit more in terms of tyres and stuff that you can use. In the sense that I think was it last game? It was literally just a medium hard at every track, or a hard medium. This one's a little bit more diverse in that sense that softs can be viable as a race tyre. At some tracks, I would say, not all tracks, obviously. I imagine it's going to be a medium start for most. Maybe someone at the back chucks on the hards and tries to get to the end. Well, go deep and then just prey on that. As you get the lights then, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're underway then for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Good start from Campa, so it looks like he's going to get the jump. It's not a good start from
Terrible start from
Gremic, yeah.
Position almost 2 off the line.
And Lucas Champion's going to try and go around the outside. All contact. Oh, as this Bradders drifts in, it's going to be a squeezing potentially between the Alpine. I think that's Rialzo. Yeah, Rialzo on the outside and Lucas Champion. They get away unscathed for now, though. As Campa holds his lead. Ali moves up to P2. All tame behind for now. Oh, got a car off in the back. I think that's Chocolate that's been pushed off by Ghostface. I don't know. Oh, I think Hugo's lost a bit of ground as well on the first lap, considering what we were saying just before. The only hard runner then on the whole grid is Jerome Globe, so he's gone for the gamble to go into the harder compound and offset his strategy compared to literally the whole rest of the grid. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if he can just stick with the field and whether that'll play off well, considering well, yeah, if there's any late safety cars, which is, well, if there's not, you know, that'll work out perfectly for him if he can stay with the pack. See if he's on a quick tyre come the end of the race.
I think there's been a few people that have seemed very close to going out, if not over the track limits already. I think it's one of these tracks where we're going to see a lot of track limit bends today.
Gremmick getting very aggressive. Grepsy's trying to get past Ali. Oh, and Ali just catches the kid. They've gone side by side to the final 2 corners. Good racing, somewhat given Campa a bit of breathing space, and Rouser's all over the back of the Scuderia now, trying to get back involved. I think he's going to go for a move down the outside. He does. Bit of contact there between Bradders, who's trying to plough back through the field. Yeah, he does he gets past Lucas Champion there, as Kukova is at 1 position from the race start as well.
Rialzo's not managed to make his move in turn 1 stick as Ali gets it back.
I think Nitro just had contact with Kukova, then Kukova down 3-4 positions. Whether that be reported or not, we'll have to see, because it looked like Nitro's just flung Kukova off track, and Hugo's already picked up a 3 second.
And no love Darky as well. So I was saying I would expect them to stack up here a fair amount up and down the grid, but it's very, very early to get your first one.
Nitro's all out of shape through the little chicane, and he's lost a lot of time to the car ahead. I think he's still going to be in DRS. Yeah, he's managed to claw some time back, but yeah, in terms of position gains, who your big losers are, etc. Rupsy obviously, like you said, spun lap 1, so he's down 2. Kukova down 3 after that little spin there with Nitro. Lucas Champion down 2 as well. A couple of gainies. You've got Rialzo up 2. Ghostface up 3 actually, so he's driving well so far into the top 10, into the point scoring positions, and then both kicks up 1 position as well.
There's not really any significant shifts here.
Rialzo might be going for a move here, though he's draining. Trying to get a move done on Ali potentially into turn 1. He looks to send it, he does send it. He doesn't fully commit to it though.
Oh,
a bit contact.
It runs wide, and if anything, it's going to lose the position.
Wow, yeah.
To get through another inside line.
Tries to break late and get through. I don't think it's really going to pay off. Yeah, Brad is through then, so just opens up his steering and cuts off Rialzo. So yeah, Rialzo looked to gain a position, made contact on the exit of turn 1. Oh, Ali all out of shape as well going into sector 2, but manages to stay ahead of Brad. It's not within the track limits though, so whether he's picked up a little warning for that, we'll have to see.
So Lucas Champion done very similar. He kept control of the car, but again straight over the track limit, so you'd imagine that would be a warning for him as well.
Campa so far, everything looks relatively calm so far. Got Gremic all over the back of him though, but they haven't switched positions just yet. A couple of cars losing sight of the pack as well at the back. Rupsy after his spin, and I don't know what's happened to Darky to leave him so adrift, but yeah, another time penalty coming in for Darky, so not having a good time so far.
Hugo's right on the verge of DRS. Comes down to where the deflection point is for him. I think he's just about to have it. Yeah, he does.
Just
he hasn't quite broken the DRS yet. And of course it's double DRS here, so we haven't got to worry about being in for the second, but another point down the straight.
No moves into turn 1 as well, everyone keeping it very calm. Oh, and Chesney goes very deep into turn 1, and he might have thrown Globe looking for a move as his hard tyres start to come into the window. Start warming up and then becoming a much more viable tyre. Obviously at this stage mediums will still be quicker, so that'd be something just we keep an eye on as the race goes on. Who's that off as well? Lucas, is that Lucas? No, Rialzo off again. So,
yeah.
A couple of cars, struggling already, only 4 laps in. Medium's showing a bit of wear already and throwing some people off. Very close is Brad is up the back of Ali. I don't know if Ali's doing a bit of ERS saving. I quickly get the telemetry on board to see what he's doing. I completely missed what happened to Gremic though. So Gremic's had a massive moment.
I think he had a moment out of turn 1 and lost a couple of positions out of it.
Still in the train, I suppose, but yeah, once again, Campa getting that breathing space up front, 3/4 of a second up the road from Ali. So Ali will keep DRS, but it is a bit of a gap enough that you should feel like Campa's not got no real trouble. But yeah, look at Brothers as well.
I think
Brilliant
Brothers is
exit.
going to drain here and potentially look for this move. I don't know if not he's going to quite get it done, but I think he's a man who's clearly showing some pace at the moment.
Yeah, I think he needs to clear Ali if he wants to try and push on, because again, they've closed up to Campa, but that's just through training really in terms of getting up there. Obviously Campa up front with no DRS, the cars behind will be able to have that increased top speed and try and push up to him. We'll see what the gap looks like through sectors 2 though, whether Campa can just drag that out and show that he is quicker.
I think this is one of the easier tracks I reckon to probably break DRS on.
You'd imagine so,
wrong on
yeah.
that one as it goes long, but certainly obviously, you know, it's a very technical circuit, which really it's only, you know, once you get down the first couple of straights, that's it for DRS.
So Brothers and Gremic both choosing to get Eurus none in the middle sector just to try and gain some of their energy back.
Oh, I think, yeah, this is a big moment for Campa, and it's if he can hold this out for the next couple of corners, but he might break away.
Oh, Gremic's trying to get involved, trying to go round the outside of Brothers there, and he's going to get caught out as well. Rial's trying to go round the outside. So action happening behind. We were keeping an eye on Brothers, but Gremic was trying to get involved in that scrap as well. But yeah, look at that. So that gap 1.1. Ali without DRS, so this is Brothers' chance then. Got a yellow flag and second 3. Yeah, so 3 goes then. Brothers moves up into P2, clawing back position as well in the main race so far, just 6 laps in. Massive moment, I think, from Campa as well.
Campa's lost a lot of time at turn 1.
Yeah, I think he's just had a moment.
I think the pace that we've seen from Brothers during the rest of the lap, you'd imagine that would be it, and all back in the another class in the first one.
Yeah. 6 laps in, it's a shame. But yeah, Campa just had a massive oversteer moment out of turn 1. Lit up the rears and yeah, dragged him back in. I think, realistically, I think with a bit of the overspeed, Brothers might have been able to drag himself back into the train anyway, in terms of getting DRS to the leader, but already then back within it, so we'll see what he can do this lap and whether he can drop Ali as well, because Ali's 6.5 tenths behind. I think he's going to be fine. I think Ali will remain and keep this train intact. Hugo Skywalker is that break in the train then, 2.2 seconds, that gap's just growing and growing. It's just a shame as well, that's literally right on the point, so the top 10 all within the train. Is Ali again a bit out of shape in sector 3? Might potentially have Gremic all over the back of him down into turn 1 as well. And he's draining, but he's got no ERS really. I think he still might send it. We might be watching a Gremic dive bomb here into turn 1. I think he thinks about it, but just does not fully commit. Anything else happens?
Like me and drops back, so that's going to stop any move into turn 2.
Yeah. Everything's quite clean so far. Last commentator jinx, but
Chesney's the first person into the pit.
I mean it's very early, but
no wing change as well, so purely a strategic call, yeah.
Okay, we'll wait and see how that plays out really, because he wasn't really adrift, he was just towards the back of this train of Hugo Skywalker. So we'll see how that plays out and whether that comes back to aid him in this race to maybe push up into the points. Obviously right now the guy does not want a safety car as well, so we're keeping an eye out for that.
The front 2 now is just about cut away the second. It's going to be tight over the next few corners on whether or not they can maintain the second gap, but Ali potentially struggling to keep the RF here.
Oh, Ali has a good corner there though to bring it down to 8 tenths or so, so he has a good exit here, which he doesn't.
He's just about kept the line.
Look how close Brothers is though. Brothers could make a move for the leader. He's got plenty of ERS as well. Look at it, yeah. You'd imagine this is going to be an easy move then. As Brothers moves all the way up to the lead though. Great start to the race for him. Up 4 positions, really showing what he was on about in the chat, saying that he did have time that would have put him on pole. So showing that pace in race trim as well, which is arguably more impressive rather than getting it locked in on the individual lap. We've got a bit of movement at the back of this top 10 train as well. The Chocolate Ghostface scrapping with Kookaburra just tucked in behind this. They've lost a bit of ground as well as Nitro to Lucas Champion. Hugo gets another 3 seconds. That's unfortunate again. Lost the train and already stacking the pen. So a painful day yet again for Hugo.
Ali right on the back of Ali still, and Ali's, you know, close to losing it again.
Ali, see, look at
you need to try find a way through and then close it.
You look how close this track is.
Yeah, Grant's got the inside line. You slightly head into the corner, and yeah, Ali's not going to fight it too hard.
Oh, look at this, so much time
now.
now.
It's 4-10 loss.
So that's them gone then. The front two gone. Oh, and Annie had a moment on the pull-up record and just for added measure. But I feel like Ali is the cork in the bottle, because you look how close everyone is behind. Their nose to tail, falling behind. And I feel like if people want to protect their race, they need to clear Ali here, because I don't feel like he's got much race.
He's going to be the latest going side by side into turn one. He's got the inside line to try and make this one work. Yeah, he clears Ali, I think.
Yeah, they're going to go side by side. Both got ERS. Both got ERS and ERS to use. He's going to send it all bit. Lots of respect between the two, to be fair. Kept it clean, and yeah, so Rialzo all the way around the outside. Brilliant move from him. So another Italian moves up into the top 5. Instead of saying that Chris been murdered, yeah, if that's from Nitro, yeah, we did see that. Early doors. All these two are going to go side by side as well. Oof. Lucas Champion just getting ahead. Ali's dropping like a stone here as well. Really just getting eaten up, whether he's really struggling on his tyres at this point. He's gone from second a couple of laps ago all the way down to 6th now, so I feel like for Ali, maybe it's time to try something and come into the pit.
He may have just pulled off an absolutely incredible time for him in quality and really hooked up his lap.
Yeah.
It's just sort of naturally falling into maybe where you'd normally expect him to sort of qualify area.
That's Hugo lagged out, and I don't know where he left, I'm not sure.
Then we don't invite anyway. Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. It's just those conclusions on matter.
If not, I'll drop him a quick comfort. Campa then, oh, a bit of contact between the front two. Yeah, Hugo said, yeah, I'll give you an invite, Hugo. Where are you? You're not going to be online, are you, lads? Oh, I haven't got my PlayStation list. But still, things very close towards the front, so I feel like this
Brothers is using the moment to recharge his ERS, going down to none, and he's almost back to 100%. He's got about 30% more than Campa, so you'd imagine he'd look to try to get the move done for the lead shortly. It's awkward to get the move in the country.
He goes back in beautifully. 2 seconds the gap as well, so it's come down a little bit, but still, you know, it's still lost track of the front two, so at the moment it's going to be between Campa and Brothers for the win. Can Campa make it 3 wins from 4 as Repsy Coda then picks up another 3-second penalty? Who's going to be the first to come into pits out of these mediums? That's what I want to know. Who takes that gamble?
I wonder if it's going to be someone sort of, you know, Gremit Rialzo, Lucas Champion, just one of these lot who just in behind the front lot to try and, you know, get themselves back into that battle lead.
Oh, I thought Brad was just going to crash into the pits, then tries to follow Campa in. He just chooses to copy a strat. And they actually go the opposite then. So the 3 behind, everyone behind, has not responded to the leaders then. They've decided they're going to do their own thing. It's Lucas Champion. Oh, massive send from Rialzo, just gets that completely wrong. As he sent Gremit Grand as well. Wow.
Yeah, and Gremit got a 3-second penalty as well for it, but you'd imagine if that's a collision, it's probably come off.
I think he's just gone for a late breaker move there and completely missed it. Flying into the side of Rialzo just to try and avoid both of them, because he was looking like he could clear Rialzo and Lucas Champion out. And that's dropped him down 7 positions as a result, so that's massive pit. At this point, surely you just pit now immediately, just to try and recover anything you can.
Yeah. Campa and Brothers have come out in a very good spot for them. And
nice yeah. Still neck and neck as well. Rupsy just behind them, 1.3, so yeah, they timed that perfectly. If that was one more lap, Rupsy might have. I was going to save Rupsy, but Rups hasn't picked as well, though, so...
Rupsy's ghosted it, is he in the lobby?
I'll send him an invite just to see, but yeah, if he's ghosted, then he's not been lapped or anything, so... Is he online? He is online. I'll send him an invite and get him back. Oh, it says he's in the game.
There's 4 of them coming into the pits then, so Chocolat stays out, so Chocolat's going to take the lead of the race. But there's plenty more than 4 now in the rhythm. It seems like most people are going this lap.
We'll watch them coming out the pits as well. See how they fare. So there they go then. They're the front 2 go. So massive time loss, you'd imagine, between these lot.
It seems like everyone's behaving on the pit exits. They're coming out sort of in the bit of traffic. It might just be Rupsi who's still ghosted, so maybe they'll get away with that one.
Just ahead, yeah. So Nitro's pitted in just behind. He's going to have to try and clear him quick because otherwise he's going to be stuck behind him. Yeah, it does clear him, so that's Rupsi dropping down. Unfortunate because he's like massively out of sync now with everyone. But look at that gap then. 4.1 extra lap has gone, giving them a 2-second cushion towards the front. So worked out beautifully for Brothers and Campa. I'm very surprised no one tried to undercut and drag that gap down. I'm surprised they even left it open for a possibility of them getting the undercut. Didn't seem like it was the right thing to do. I imagine, I don't know, I thought they'd be kicking themselves.
I think that they just got caught out early, really. You know, the front two pitted very early on.
Yeah.
To the point where, really, I mean, you'd probably be looking then, thereabouts, to begin to think about bits to get the undercut. And because they come in so early, they're just somewhat being caught out by the whole thing. Brothers is going to take what would be the net lead after all the pit stops, but obviously only P4 for now.
Chocolade is going to be an interesting one to watch because obviously he was fighting towards the back end of the points. And he's still out there on the mediums. I think he could be cooked here. Him and Orchid both still out. Orchid did lag out at one point, which doesn't help his cause, but I feel like the two of them could get heavily swamped. They've got thrown globe all over the back and still going long as well.
Damage. I have a feeling Nitro's ran into the back of someone off the end plate.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Nitro's damaged.
Wow. I don't know if he got damaged as early on when he hit Kookaburra.
He's going side by side into the tight chicane as well. As the Salva has to sort of cut the second part of it.
Campa was using some ERS mid-lap there just to try and close the gap with Brothers, whether he's feeling like he's starting to lose a bit of touch with the Aston. So in comes the pit,
and Foam Globe's going to take the lead of the race for now as of the yellow flag.
Oh yeah, I've just cut to Chesney. He's on the grass trying to defend against Gremeg, so I don't know what happened there. Brothers setting the fastest lap then. As he goes past all the cars coming out of the pits, but cut to Chocolate and Awkward to see them where they filter in. Here comes Kookaburra.
Got wing damage because he's into the pits again.
So maybe they've had a little moment. Maybe they've had a scrap. Chesney, he just retires then, yeah. Wing damage obviously doesn't seem as worthy already a drift, so it's just a waste of time at that point, I suppose. Repsicola, he's back in his car, but he needs to pit really. He's the only car, apart from Throne Globe, yet to pit, so the only medium runner still out there. And he's got all fresh cars all around him, so it's kind of a lost cause at this point for the reserve.
I think Throne Globe's just going safety car. Oh no, Throne Globe's done hard, sorry.
Yeah.
It'd
be interesting to see how this strategy works out, because he was towards the back. If you can get the hard still kind of work early on, and which he did, to be fair, he stayed somewhat in touch with the pack.
You opened up a safety car window as well if you're him, but the problem is, I mean, if it comes now, you can't really go to a tyre to get you to the end.
Yeah. It's interesting as well because Lucas Champion really missed the boat then in amongst all those pit stops. He was with Rialzo, and look at him now. He's behind Kookaburra now. Kookaburra having a solid race. She's got more moves up then for the lead. Campa goes down the inside. Little switchback opportunity for Brothers. Burns his ERS on the out of turn one. Oh yeah, beautiful move then. Gets it to stick. Campa choosing to back out. Still not even halfway through this race, so no point really getting too aggressive at this stage. Might as well keep that gap.
I was going to say, it's pulled ahead of a gap to the point where, you know, they can afford to do a bit of scrapping.
Yeah.
4.8 seconds.
Be interested to see what happens with Throne Globe then. So he's 4 seconds clear of them. If he pits, he'll come out probably. Well, he'd come out a couple of seconds probably behind Gremick and Awkward. I don't know how long the pit stop is, like 23 seconds, something like that. So I imagine he's going to be a little bit off the back. If he's on fresh mediums,
just in front of Rupsi Kola.
If he's on fresh mediums, it'd be interesting to see, because obviously Rupsi's going to pit, so it's going to be a nice window that he's going to pit into. So he's got, obviously the only thing screening him right now is the penalty to his name, but I think he could be. I don't want to say he's obviously going to do like, oh, he's going to win the race, but he could be one to watch in the closing stages of the race just to see how much he can get the mediums to click compared to the worn hards. So if there's not a safety car. obviously right now it's working out perfectly for him. Campa's.
I think realistically, I can't imagine he'd be able to push on too much higher than lower points, but if he can achieve that, though, it's a decent start for him.
If he gets anything, yeah, literally. Nice to see there's a bit of strategy and contact actually between Ghostface's and Ali's, just as like...
Oh, Granite's off as well. Granite's gone miles off at turn 1, I don't know what happened there. Lost a couple of spots from it.
Oh,
it's awkward sending a move up the inside, comes to give the V-carb, and Granite just goes into him as well, into Nitro.
Oh, Hugo's fully done, I think. I think he's finished. Can't even connect to his internet.
Oh, another big moment from Nitro.
Things get a bit scruffy back here between a couple of these drivers.
The problem you have of your phone globe, to be fair, luckily for him it's a breakaway front two, so it shouldn't matter too much, but you're now in the lead is approaching, you don't just want to lose too much time when realistically
it's not your race.
Box yet. It's too long for the window to box into for now.
Yeah. Kind of Stella saying I have too much faith in people pass. I'm not saying Throne Globe's going to get anything, but I'm just interested to see what the delta difference is going to be like towards the end. Whether he can try and close up, and even if he pushes up and he's on the back of Nitro, Gremic, whatever. Let's just see. So they switch again then. Oh, Throne Globe, gets dunked on by the pair of them. Doesn't really fight, so plays that quite smart, really. Brothers then retakes that the actual lead. Obviously, wasn't a lap car or anything. Just offset strategy. So Brothers back into P1 then. Campa P2. 5.5 seconds back then to Riauza. So another good race looking like it's on the cards for Alpine. Reigning champions looking like they're going to extend their lead yet again. Obviously they've got Williams 37 points behind them, and at the moment they've only got one car in the points, and it's going to be Ghostface in P4.
With Christopher as well. I thought that was going to turn into a big collision as they're looking to go side by side into the track today. Christopher has to go over the exit curve.
Got a couple of pens on the board as well. Let's see in terms of penalties. Hugo is currently AI, I think, on 6, Rupsy 3, Awkward 6, Gremic 3, and then Throne Globe 3. Yet to pit though, of course.
Well, I thought we'd see more scattered track grids by now, but it'd be interesting to see as the hearts start dying on people whether or not we see that increase or not. But
I mean, this train within the points is looking very tasty. You've got Riauza fully clear now, really, in his own little world, 3 seconds ahead. There's another switch up front again. But Riauza's kind of in his own little world. But then it's this train, Ghostface, Ali, Lucas, Kookaburra, and Chocolata, all then fighting for whatever is left in the points. So anyone's game then, if any of these get a 3-second penalty for track limits, they're going to be finished. Obviously they wouldn't drop any lower than what's the position that Chocolata's currently holding, because walking behind 3 seconds further back, and he's got penalties as well. So realistically, it is going to be P9 for one of those drivers if they do get a pen. They come around a corner like this. Let's see if anyone does get one. Oh, a bit tentative there through Ghostface, but got through there. Okay, lost a bit more time to Riauza. Throne Globe now 3.3 seconds off the back of the leaders, just trying to go as long as he can.
I think for him, probably you only need to do another lap or two, and then
becomes
probably
viable.
Time to come off the tyres, which almost ideal timing, because the problem is he doesn't want to have the whole Ghostface sort of pack reaching, because that's the moment where there's just too many cars that out in the fight.
I think he can afford to kind of deal with Riauza, because we've got a bit of action actually come around the final corner.
Off the track,
Ali off in the final corner. Whether he was forced off there, we'll have to see if that gets chucked into a report. But Lucas Champion get a pass by Chocolade, who's coming through the order. Oh, and squeeze Lucas Champion off the track. Ali looking like he wants to swoop back in and make that position back. Can he make a move around the outside of Lucas Champion? No,
got all on the curb on the latter side, and I think that just completely threw him off, and he couldn't get the car turned in.
It's a good run out of turn 3 though. But doesn't think about doing anything stupid for now. Settles back in. But I think Throne Globe, Throne Globe's got Riauza already right on him. So it's quite, the timing wise, I think this is going to work out quite well for Riauza. Because by the time he's coming into the start straight, I think he's going to be right on his gearbox.
I think Riauza's going to have to earlier. It could be to the right-hander here if he can get a bit of a run.
I think I think it makes sense just for him to settle in behind now. Oh yeah, he's losing time here, so he's only going to lose a bit of time through these couple of corners, but it's not the end of the world for him, I think. Yeah, look how much time he's losing actually. Oh. So he's going to get the move.
I can expect a fair amount of time to be lost down there. Look at that.
Wow, yeah, he has lost plenty of time. So through he goes then. Rialso getting that position. And I imagine if Thrunklib wants to stay out, he's got probably another 2 or 3 laps if he wants to before he's going to have his teammate for the day of Kookaburra behind him. So it's that's something we'll keep an eye on to see whether it's worth staying out or whether he decides, you know, he's got 15 laps now if he comes on to the mediums, which is doable. So it's whether he decides now is the time then to make that switch.
Yeah, I think this all comes down to whether or not he's attempting to play a team game, which you don't usually see too much of reserve. But if you're him, I think you're probably looking to come in maybe this lap. And you just think, okay, get out of the way before you hit this entire train.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to play the team game. And Ali then gets to lose second, so he is one of the cars within this train then does then tick over into that third warning, and it is Ali already towards the back of the train to be fair, but painful for him. He's got such a good quality, but the race just has almost fallen apart lap by lap for him. Down in P9 now, so what could have been potentially a podium looks like it's going to be back end points, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, throwing both coming into the pits as I would have expected. Be interested to see then what the gap is he's going to have to make up. I feel like it's probably going to be too big of an ask, but let's see what he can do.
I'm just interested to see how much time he actually gains, because he's been showing an okay pace. Obviously in quali was outside the top 10, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if there's anything potentially kicking off towards the back. Obviously, let's see, where is he filtering out then? Yeah, so he's going to be probably like 5-6 seconds off the back of Nitro if the eye test passes. Oh, look at that, beautiful. 6. I am him. But yeah, so yeah, 6 seconds off the back of Nitro then. So we'll see if he's got a penalty, so we'll see if he can. Nitro's got damage as well, hasn't he? You said. Did he fix it? No, so
I haven't seen Nitro pitch. So yeah, Nitro's damaged.
So we'll see then how quickly Thrunklib can reel him in, and then can he get past him? And then it's a further 3.5 seconds up to Gremic, where then at that point the penalty's the same. Yeah, if he catches up to that point, I just realised how far off Gremic is. Gremic's had a real stinker today. Like, it all looked like it was potentially coming back around, but an incident just before the pit stop's thrown him off, and then another off has sent him right all the way down to the back end of the points. So not a good day at the office for him. Right now, even though Awkward's got 3 more seconds of penalties, he's still not going to make any positions up. Cancelo says, can we check Kookaburra's warnings? Can you check it? Yeah. Yeah, we'll go back on board and watch Kookaburra in the scrap. Just to have a little see. Ghostface back in the have a warning. Okay, supposedly no warning then. Roger that. 5.6 seconds as well.
Shockwave's picked up 2 warnings towards the end of his medium stint, so he's going to have to drive the entire second stint of that one.
Oof.
Lucas Champion's the same, he's got 2 warnings. So.
Oh,
Shockwave goes up to the inside of the tight chicane.
Did he just bundle him out of the way? It's not a place that you usually overtake people at, and he's gambled and just thrown it at the inside of Kookaburra. I wonder if Kookaburra got a warning in the process there as well. Obviously that would come off, but I'd expect him to have got a warning. Shockwave trying to push on to see if a podium is potentially on the card. His throw globe gets another 3-second penalty, which is going to somewhat ruin his charge up through the field. He's already knocked nearly 3 seconds, 2-3 seconds off the gap down to Nitro. So putting the mediums to work well. I think we're going to have another move up front. Oh no, just about. Rather staying behind. So 12 laps left at the front here, so plenty can happen in that time. Oh, it's going to get tasted down to turn 1 behind as well. Let's go, so it's all a bit of contact
for Kookaburra. I think he ran slightly wide into Ghostface that time.
Yeah, I think he just drifted wide and made contact, and Lucas Champion's then inside him looking to see if he can swoop through while the car is still ghosted. I think he's going to be able to do it as well, yeah. Whether Luke...
Could this be a horrible moment to unghost? It's worked out again,
just go through it. Oh, we've got Brupsy Cola.
Yeah.
Brupsy Cola round.
I think it was just a spin.
He's yet to pit off the mediums as well, so I don't know what he's doing at this point.
He's lost it again. I wonder if he's got a puncture.
Has he got a puncture? I don't. Car looks a little bit. Yeah, he does. His back right, his back left is gone.
Yeah.
Into the pits.
Yeah, into the pits.
Ooh, can I get it turned? He can. Just about. But I mean, it's all gone wrong there for Rupsy. Does get it. Oh, he doesn't even know.
He can't stop it in time.
Painful. There's Rupsy into the pits, and he's going to be lapped. Yeah, so through they go. So Rupsy 1 lap down, unfortunately. 22 laps on the mediums. As we do have the overtake for the lead, then Bradders moves back into the lead. 6 seconds now the gap between the Alpines. 2.5 between Rios and Chocolate. As Ghostface then goes for a move as well. Does he make it stick? No. Chocolate having a very good race to come back through the field in terms of his progression up the order. Up the gains that we've had in the top couple of positions. So Campa's lost 1 position, but he's down. Down 1. Started on the front row, or starting on pole. Down to P2. Brad is up 4. Rialzo having a good race up 3. Chocolate having a good race as well, up 5 positions. Same with Ghostface up 6. Lucas Champion not doing too bad, only down 2, but still within that same real fight that he's been in the whole race. Cooper up 1, and in this fight with potential more positions on the cards. And despite the penalties, Auckland's having a very good race, up 7 positions. Adrift from this pack looks like P8 is going to be his position then locked on, unless anything crazy happens towards the end. Look at Throne Globe as
well from Ali. Ali's made a position either. Look, there's no wing change involved. He's made a strategical decision to go for a 2-stop straight thing.
But he had a bit of damage, maybe. I don't know.
But if he did, he hasn't fixed it. So that it might just be one of those you forget to say yes to the game to fix it. But
look at Throne Globe though, 0.2. So you imagine he gets past Nitro this lap. Yeah, we'll look at the exit and see what Throne Globe could do.
Yeah, Front Globe's easily going to get this done already alongside with the DRS assistance.
Yeah, a bit of damage as well, obviously from Nitro, just went wide into turn 1, into the final corner, sorry, and then through he goes then. So we're keeping on that and see 6.6 seconds between Throne Globe and Grummick. So realistically, I don't think that gap gets closed, but I mean, I'd be interested to see. 10 laps left, so you never know what could happen. Very close here as well for 5th place between Ghostface, Lucas Champion and Kookaburra. Nose to tail through sector 2 here. Clean through, so top 7 without a penalty to their name as well. So very clean race overall, I think. And just as I said, Nitro gets the benefit.
I was going to say, he's also still running with a bit of wing damage as well, so
you'd
if
expect
Globe can break the DRS to him, that will be his chance to look at
points. Yeah.
Point.
Oh, Kookaburra dives down inside to try and get past. Lucas Champion just gets squeezed at the apex, so has to settle for the positions in currently. But yes, like we said, 9 laps left, so plenty of opportunity left for this scrap to develop further. That's actually Chocolate has somewhat broken away. Lucas Champion and storms past Ghostface to try and use that overspeed to reel Chocolate back in. I don't think he's going to be able to, unless he can use a bit of ERS down here as well. 1.1 that gap. It's going to be close.
He's still got DRS open, so this will be his chance. For if Color gets 3-second penalty. But obviously he's already,
a lap
drift
down,
at the back. Yeah.
And he's on the softs actually, so he's just got the fastest lap right now actually. Fastest lap right now is Brothers at 16.5. Narrowly beating the time set by Chocolate as well, so only a couple actually in the 16s. Cooper in the 16s as well, so a couple just a bit above the rest in terms of that 1 lap pace in race trim.
It's a big lap then for Lucas Champion, sort of a big sector coming up here. You have a feel, based on what we've seen, that you can't get the extra tank found this to be Chocolate's moment just to run away.
The one thing that I will say is that Chocolate doesn't have a car ahead of him, so unless Chocolate's race pace is just better, I don't think he's really going anywhere for now. And it's close.
Yeah, he's cut the DRS.
Oh,
it was over a second at the line.
It was 0.984 just a tick before that, but yeah, he just missed out. Tick the other second. He's got a nice buffer to Ghostface though, so Lucas Champion, if he pushes enough. He used a lot of his ERS though, didn't he, really?
Well, that's the thing that saved him actually, is Ghostface dropping back. Because if Ghostface was a lot closer there, then they scrapped a bit sort of into the first couple of turns.
Yeah.
So he can have another go at trying to reduce the gap.
Nitro
tiring now.
Yeah, Nitro that as well. Yeah. Gets to that point now, you realise probably nothing's really on in that sense. So All still to play for though, for not only the win, but 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, really in terms of that fight. So big points still on the cards for a lot of drivers here. Only points, only the people in 8th, 9th and 10th currently have time penalties. Ali obviously just outside that as well with a time penalty. So all clean up front. It's whether anyone's one warning away, and then that could throw out the whole race for them. So plenty can happen in the last couple of laps, as we might have another move up front between the front two. It's just where they settle in and just choose to just follow each other around.
Kookaburra has been pushing the limits the last couple of laps as well, because he's suddenly on 2 warnings from not having any. He's one of those ones, honestly. It's quite a few of them in this train that could stick over and get a
Yeah. Obviously they've got the buffer behind, but that would only mean they're 7 at best. It's painful because they can literally see like P4. P4's just up the road there, as they have them reconnected to Chocolate then. So Lucas Champion doing a good job there to reel back in the German and connect that train and make it a 4-car train once again. Real's having a very quiet race still. 1.5 adrift actually is Chocolate off the back of him. 5.3 Rialzo behind the front 2. So just in his own little world here currently. Quite happy I think with his P3, as then Awkward is the next man to get another 3-second penalty. Just a shame because he's had an alright race position game wise, but I think he's kind of accepted that 8th is the best he can get, and just hoping now that he can try and fend off the cars behind with his increased penalty. Both at the front as well with plenty of this is going to go all the way to the line in the sense that Bradders wants to stay behind. Campa realises, I think, that Bradders is going to stay behind, so he's doing as much as he can just to save his ERS for those last couple of laps, so this could get interesting.
Good to say, until now they were swapping a lot during the race, but obviously it's just one of these where we're seeing, the other techs don't really mean too much.
Yeah.
Getting really matter until about now we're obviously beginning to really think about the DRS thing.
Yeah, only a couple of laps left on the board, so it has got to that point where that has become a high possibility of what's going to happen. It's whether Rialza, I mean, realistically, even if they play a bit of chicken, Rialza's not going to have any sniff really behind.
Oh, Kookaburra gets the 3 seconds now. I did say he's gone up to 1 away, and there it is. And Ghostface as well has dropped 1.5 seconds back now behind Lucas Champion, so it's Chocolate needs to come to cut away, and almost going to drag Rialza into it.
It's so close, look at that. And Ghostface gets a pet. So Ghostface and Kookaburra look like they're now at the back of this little train. So it's all down to position between the two of them. Because look how much they've
gone
they've
from
lost.
Ghostface has handed P6, so before you know it, now the fight's back on track.
And they fully lost track, so I imagine Kookaburra is going to make the move on Ghostface going into the last 5 laps now. It's right on the back of him, come around that final corner with a full tank of ERS as well.
He's back in DRS then, as Kookaburra's going to get the move done.
Wow. So it's gone from what looked like a solidified P3 in a way for Rialza to Chocolata and Lucas Champion, then both having to sniff the podium. So 3rd, 4th and 5th now, the fight is back on. Chocolata and Lucas Champion both do have less ERS though compared to Rialza, who's just been quite comfortable sitting around the 60% mark doing his own race. So it'd be interesting to see how that changes to the game as well. Oh, when he goes wide actually through there, I don't know if he's then gone wide enough to pick up a little warning.
But is now showing 3 warnings as well, so one obviously must be a collision. Yeah, so collision with Lucas Champion on the opening lap. I'm seeing where the second one is. I just saw him go wide, which made me check it. So yeah, he's on 2 track limit. So one more moment and that's it. He had a 3-second penalty and Campa will be under victory.
Wow. Obviously, even with the 3 second, he has got the buffer behind to stay clear of whatever this, whoever finishes P3 in this fight. But obviously doesn't want to lose the win to 2 track limits because it's just painful. Is there going to be a move on this lap? No, Brad is yet again just choosing to not even use his battery. Flicks to none actually, just to try and stay behind. Nearly runs into the back.
Chocolade's going to get a move done. He's putting alongside and got the inside line in the
wow.
He's going to get there. Yeah, he's going to look to switch back, but of course with it being double DRS, it's going to be enough for Chocolade to hold it.
Considering Chocolade's race, he's had a very impressive drive. 6 positions gained. didn't look. I think I said that he just looked like he had a very quiet qualifying, and he's flicked that around in race trim, and he's just charged up through the field in the second stint particularly.
It's tougher for these lot because when it's, a group of three, it's finding where you want to be in this DRS train.
Yeah.
Realistically, you want to be where Lucas Champion is. That's where Rialto is at the moment.
Yeah. You don't want to be at the back because because then realistically, if you're at the back, you're not going to get both. You realistically want to be in the middle.
Yeah.
And then just hope that the person behind doesn't overly aggressively send it, and then cost you any position opportunity gain on the car ahead.
Here we go again. Then I assume it's going to be the same story up front of Brad is in the DRS, but not going to use it. Well, he switched it on, but managed to put up and on start.
Throne Globe. Oh, Throne Globe is going to be quite close there with Ali for that last point. Throne Globe on 9 seconds.
He was going to get this down because obviously Ali's did a 2-stop here, so he's got much fresher tyres.
Only 3 laps to be fair, 3 laps fresher, but I think Ali did have the better race pace. Obviously, Ali fighting somewhere towards the front at some point in the race.
Yeah.
Stampede thinks about a move, but stays behind now. Ghostface has really dropped off as well. Like, he's not even in DRS now to Kookaburra going into the last 3 laps. So Kookaburra looks like he's got P6 on lock. So it's all attention on this fight behind them, really, just to see what happens.
Kookaburra looked like he ran wide again when I was on board with him. Oh no, it's not counted level 1.
I wonder if there's any games at the front in these last couple of stages. Do they try and switch? That's the question. I wonder if Campus wants to play the games. In a way, I feel like this is one of the tracks that if you are ahead going to the last lap, you could survive. Because the deficit's not crazy. I mean, they both basically got a full tank of ERS.
Yeah, they're going to come round the final corner with full tank of ERS and
just drain it. It's just whether it's going to be enough then for Campa to hold off, because look how close they are. Bradders is almost I think Bradders is going to get this. I feel like he's
getting in the position you want to be.
He's getting close even. He's getting like ridiculously close even without using his ERS. I know Campa's not using it either, but I think as the attacker behind, I think it's good for Bradders. It's going to get very close. Obviously, only 2 laps left, so all to play for still between several positions. Like right now, we're still yet to decide who's even going to be on the podium, let alone in which order. So Chocolade is leading this train now, but like we said to the cars up front, do you really want to be that car in the lead of the train going into the last lap?
The big thing for Bradders is just behaving on the track limits. Obviously, he's the one on the 2 warnings, so one moment, and before you know it, it will literally be for nothing.
I think he's.
But I say it would be for nothing, it'd still be a P2.
Yeah. Oh, the hardship. Yeah, again then. So this is it then. Is there any games going into the penultimate lap? They've actually got a ghost car up ahead of Hugo that could get involved actually. I think they're going to clear him through the lap actually.
I think the ghost car's too slow across the course of the lap to really force him.
Brothers,
Campa used a bit of ERS there, and if I was him, I feel like you would have kept the whole thing on none and just hoped that you didn't hit the ghost car until the DRS effect.
Bit of action behind going on the penultimate lap though, as Rialto tries to surprisingly take the lead of this little train. Actually, didn't even use that much ERS. Rialto's still got more ERS actually to use than Chocolate. So bold move from the Italian to then switch up ahead. Chocolate has actually gone to ERS none just to he's on ERS none to try and stay ahead, but Lucas Champion's trying to catch him napping. But no, thinks better of it, just stays behind for now. Obviously Kookaburra right with this train now, fully dropped Ghostface. Not that it will matter really, because Kookaburra does have that 3-second penalty though, but you never know if anything can come off. Or if the drivers ahead will get penalties, but we'll go to the leaders now, and they have cleared the ghost of Hugo, so all to play for.
Gets no 3-second penalty, so that can throw Globe a point.
Yeah, so
this is the moment, can Campa somehow hand in the DRS instead, and it's not for nothing for him, is it?
So here it goes then. Can Bradders make the move then? Come around the final corner to start the last lap. Perfect position for Bradders to be in. He's gaining. Can he get enough though? He's going to go round the outsides. Squeeze
Campa. So at the moment, it's going to come down to the second DRS point.
Oh, and he's got a good run. And I think he's going to get him. down into turn 3, and it is enough, yeah. So Bradders does take the lead then on the final lap. Is there going to be a send though? Campos gets a good run out of that corner going into sector 2, but no, that's just to settle behind. Realistically, the only other move then is in sector 3. Catches the curb though, offsettles his car. Loses a bit of crucial time.
You've really got to stick to the back of him if you're going to get moved on in sector 3.
I feel like this is it. Bradders just has to keep it within the lines now. Don't get that 3-second penalty, and I think the win is going to be his. Through sector 2, he's got a nice gap. He's 4/10, yeah, realistically. Campa's not got anything really to fight against. Oh, a bit of a moment there for Bradders. Is there any opportunity for Campa to send it? No.
Even then, he doesn't even need to move
far
across
back.
and cover the inside.
Yeah.
Or the Campa's going to look
he
for it.
sends
It's a
it.
late
Oh,
dive and half spins him, but they're going to stay 1-2 anyway. And I say that. Is he going to stay? Yeah, so that's Hugo's car. So yeah, they're going to stay 1-2 and Bradders are still going to win this one.
So Bradders is going to win. 3-second gap in the end after that collision. Bradders wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. 1.2 seconds the gap in the end. But that's what I mean. Does Campa get reported for that? Because
yeah, I mean, if he gets reported, you'd imagine that'd be a penalty. But it's whether or not Bradders cares enough to report it after he's still kept victory on track.
Desperate at the end, yeah. I mean, it's fine for a win. Just, Campa trying to get his 3rd win already of the season. Bit desperate in the end. Should have realised that door was going to close. But and it is Riauza then that rounds out the podium. Getting that move done on Chocolade on the penultimate lap, paying off. And it's an Alpine, well, both on the podium, but not getting all that way that they'd like. Wanted that win from Campa, but in the end it's going to be Bradders that gets not only driver of the day, but the race win itself as well. So great drive from him to come back through the order.
Yeah, Bradders said he's going to report that one, so it's going to go to steward's room. You'd imagine that's a penalty coming
if it gets reported
his way. Yeah.
So you see the Alpine down below there, but
I could see him drop off the podium.
That's painful if that's the case. But wow. So Bradders, despite his qualifying, he is the one that stands on top of the podium here in Budapest. We'll flick to the full race order now to have a quick flick through to see how it all unfolded. Top 5 the only drivers without penalties, full track limits. Bradders gets the race win, 3.2 seconds in the end after that last lap. Little collision between the pair. Campa P2, his teammate then following him just behind as well. Riauza in P3. Chocolade has to set up for people, but still a great drive, up 5 positions in the end. Lucas Champion P5, Kukura P6, Ghostface 7th, Awkward 8th, Gremic all the way down to P9, fortunately for him. Throne does get points on his debut as well after Ali's penalty right at the end there, so he has to settle for 11th. Hugo lagged out unfortunately, and then the retirement cars of Nitro, Rupsy, Chesney and Darky. So honestly, considering that was Budapest, I actually quite enjoyed that race. I think that was a good watch. There was a lot going on, which I didn't necessarily expect.
Yeah, I think we're quite lucky that, the fight for the sort of podium space, especially downwards, offers a lot more entertainment. The thing with the front two is they were swapping from time to time, but you knew it was just waiting for the last couple of laps when it actually comes to match.
Yeah, and it all came to a climax. Bradders managed it well in the end, and he's got that win. First win as well of the season, so good for him. Hopefully in the stewards room that doesn't go against him, so I'll have to see.
He wants to find a pit lane cut.
Yeah,
I'm on board with him for that, and I know he's safe. Give you relief to her.
Yeah, it's looking good. So on to tier 1 now. We're back to normal race formats there as well. So normal conditions, dry race. So if you're interested in watching that, please stick around. That's on in 40 minutes or so. And if you're wanting just to watch some tier 2 action, we're back next week. I think we've got Baku.
It's Baku.
Yeah. Baku. So had a quick look, dry currently as well, if you're interested in knowing the weather. So we'll keep an eye on that though. But yeah, if you're interested in watching that, we'll see you next week, or we'll see you shortly for tier 1. Goodbye.